It was pitch dark inside the closet, yet Gabriel wished the darkness would never leave him. In its embrace he found solace, hidden from the pain, the cruelty, and the harshness of the world outside. He shivered, not just from the cold, but from fear and exhaustion. The thick comforter wrapped around him barely provided any warmth, and the absence of a heater in the basement made the chill seep deep into his bones. He prayed in silence, hoping, pleading that his agony would end soon. But as always, his silent prayers were met with silence. "Gabriel!" His hands trembled violently. He clutched the comforter tighter, his body instinctively recoiling. The sudden burst of light from the door made him squeeze his eyes shut, shielding them with his small hands. "What the hell are you doing there? You should be helping your father at the shop." Gracie," she corrected sharply. "But are you deaf or just plain dumb?" The correction stung just as much as the words that followed. He had called her mama out of habit, out of yearning. But she was never mother to him. She was 17 when he was born. Too young to understand what it meant to raise a child. Too burdened by resentment to ever love him. "I won't work. I am no slave. I am your son." His voice cracked, yet there was defiance in it. A rare moment of courage. Grace crossed her arms, her lips curling into a smirk. "Oh, yeah? Wait till I tell Pa about this." He didn't know where the strength came from, but something within him refused to cower. He was tired. Tired of the fear, tired of the pain, tired of being treated as if he were nothing. "He's not my Pa. I want to see my real Pa." His fists clenched at his sides. "You'll never see him again." Gracie spat, her eyes blazing with anger. "My parents wouldn't have disowned me if it weren't for you." "What's going on here?" His blood ran cold as Oswald stepped into the room, towering over him like a shadow of pure malice. The man's grip on his life was suffocating, and Gabriel knew what was coming. "Get your ass to the workshop." The mop Oswald threw at him was smeared with grease, hitting his face and staining his skin. But the humiliation was nothing compared to the blows that followed. His body was no match against a grown man with a twisted sense of power. Gabriel bit his lip, swallowing the pain, refusing to let a single cry escape. It only fueled Oswald's rage when he showed weakness. He longed to grow up, to be strong enough to fight back, to defend himself, but for now, all he could do was endure. Obedience or defiance, it never made a difference. The beatings would always come. The first punch landed on his stomach. He barely had time to recover from yesterday's bruises before new ones formed. He staggered but did not fall. His silence enraged Oswald further. "Go ahead," Gabriel taunted, his voice shaking. "Hit me more so I'll have bruises to show the authorities." His boldness only earned him harsher blows. He crashed to the wooden floor, his cheek burning from the impact. Oswald grabbed him by the shirt, slapping him repeatedly. The world blurred with each strike. "You're a fucking worthless brat." Curled up in the corner, Gabriel hugged his knees, his body trembling, his mind screaming. He wiped his tears away, refusing to let them fall. Crying only made them angrier. He had once tried to call for help. He had once dared to hope for an escape. But Oswald had found out. That night he had learned a painful lesson. Hope was dangerous. Dragging his battered body, he crawled back into the closet. If he stayed hidden long enough, maybe they would forget about him. Maybe he could disappear. Pain throbbed through every inch of his body, but he willed himself to stay silent. He closed his eyes and hummed a melody, one he often heard on the radio. The familiar tune became his refuge, drowning out the horrors of reality. Then, a whisper, soft, ethereal, a voice only he could hear.
Gabriel, I'm here.
It was the voice of the princess, the one from the fairy tales he clung to, the one he imagined sitting beside him when loneliness became unbearable. Maybe she wasn't real. Maybe she was just a fragment of his desperate mind. But she was the only comfort he had. And so he held onto her voice, letting it shield him from the darkness that threatened to consume him. That night, Gabriel made a silent vow. He would never cry again. He would never let them see his pain. One day, he would grow stronger, so strong that no one could ever hurt him again. He would build walls so high that no one could ever break through them, let alone break him. And when that day came, he would no longer be the helpless boy they had tormented. He would be a warrior. Wrapping the comforter tight around his shoulders, he hummed a melody that once brought him warmth until sleep finally claimed him.